and it was not that at all.
Because you were too much of a rock fan.
Well, or for a variety of reasons. I mean, it's 2 years after Jerry. It's the first. It didn't matter. All the Deadheads are there to see the other guys in the Dead.
Yeah.
They didn't give a shit. We could have been Jimi Hendrix. Could have come out of the grave, and they would have been like, "What's that guy doing here? I want to see the Grateful Dead." You know.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Hang on a second. I gotta look at this just to remind myself of where and when shit was happening. Oh, yeah. West Palm Beach. June 20th. Oh, man. So, yeah, okay, so I remember that West Palm Beach gig. So we had, it's funny because we had there was a fan club called Taller. And for the Further tour, we actually we had a couple people that were like traveling, like they were setting up in the parking lot and enlisting new people, and they were like traveling with the tour. Like we had our people like in the house and getting people to sign up for the email list. We finally had a website, you know, and there was the European tour in '97. I should go back. We did have some there was a big drink up in Slovenia where everyone got the drunkest they've ever been. Like, you know, that was funny. There was a few moments along that. This is the other thing I forgot that I was saying. When we were in London in '97, me and Chris met Jimmy Page for drinks at a pub in town. Just the two of us. Like, as Ross said, Jimmy would love to come around and have a beer, and so we went and met. I don't know why it was just me and Chris. It would have only been me, Chris, and Rich probably, but Rich didn't go. We probably didn't ask him. It was probably like me and Chris were like, this would be funny if Rich isn't there. So we went and sat with Jimmy in a pub on Kensington High Street around the corner from his house and right across the street from our hotel. And we sat there and we were still at the point where we're like, okay, again, we're in a pub in London, which is cool. We love that. And we're sitting here with Jimmy Page and we're just drinking beers with Jimmy. And we're just talking about records and music and life. And it was, I don't remember too much of the conversation other than it was all really cool.
Yeah. It
was really, really cool. We had a fun time. And then we went back across the street to the hotel that night and we went to the bar of the hotel and Sheryl Crow was there with her whole band was in the bar and we all were sitting with them. And then Sheryl came walking into the lobby with Eric Clapton because they were like an item. And the bar overlooked the lobby. And we were all like, they're actually like a couple? And her band was like, yeah. We were like, wow. And then they went upstairs and then he left again like in 1 minute. Like he went upstairs and grabbed his keys that he'd forgotten and left. Whatever it was, he just immediately left. And then Sheryl came down and sat at the bar with us. And we ended up sitting there for hours. And then me, Sheryl, and my drum tech Noodles ended up in her room like literally till sunrise, just drinking wine and talking. Like, it was great. We just had she was hilarious. And we had a really nice talk about life and family and nothing to do with anything. And it's funny because ever since then, like I see her once a year, but we've always just been like real buddy ever since. But it's all just from that one night. And it's like, I always forget that I started the night with Jimmy Page and then I saw Eric Clapton and then it was just like a weird, But me and Chris sitting with Jimmy at that pub was funny because he did say something about he had just discovered The Simpsons, and he said, "Have you seen The Simpsons?" And he goes, "Did you see where Homer sings 'Born Under a Bad Sign'?" And we were like, "No." And Jimmy goes, "Oh, it's so funny. It's Homer," and he's like, "Born under," and Jimmy starts imitating Homer doing "Born Under a Bad Sign." And as it's happening, I'm like, I cannot believe I'm watching this happen. And we were laughing like, oh, it's great. And he was just tickled. It was his new thing, The Simpsons.
Did it ever come up at that time? Oh, it'd be fun to tour together at some point.
No. Oh, I didn't finish the story from Paris in '95. He and Ross came to see us at the Zenith, and I'm looking over at the monitor board, and there's Jimmy on the side of the stage, and it's like, fuck, man, this is really cool that Jimmy Page is here. He flew to Paris to see us, like just came down. And so we played the set, and we go in the dressing room, and he's in there, and we're all like, hey, Jimmy! no matter what had happened that day, everybody's in a great mood. It's like, all right, man, Jimmy. And Chris goes, you want to hop up for one? And he goes, well, I guess I could, yeah. And so now it's like, fuck, he's sitting in for the encore. And it's like, oh my God. And he goes, well, what should we do? And it was like, well, we'll just do some standard blues, like, Shake Your Moneymaker and something else. I don't know what we played. I think we played Shake Your Moneymaker and maybe something else. But sincerely, so we tell we'll just switch you over. So call the guitar tech. Jimmy's sitting in. Go tune up a Les Paul and get that other amp up there. And so the techs are on stage getting some shit ready, and and concert goers know when something's about to happen. You could just feel there's all of a sudden there's clearly an energy in the fact that all the crew's getting something ready and the break's taking longer than it should, and we're not in a hurry because we'll just talk to Jimmy for 30 minutes. We don't care. We're like, okay, let's go. And we walk back on stage, and it's on YouTube. You can see it. But I remember sitting there, and Chris goes, he said something like, I can't believe what's about to come out of my mouth. Jimmy Page. And the place just goes fucking apeshit. Like, no one's expecting that. Like, whoa. Well, however he set it up, it was like, and the place goes crazy. And we're all on stage just like, holy, we're like not even trying. We're not trying to be cool. I'm loud. I'm fucking thrilled.
Yeah.
And whatever it was, he looks back at me and everyone's like, count it in. And I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta count it in. Like, what if it's too fast? What if it's too slow? What if I fuck it up? Like, I have this immediate, and then I count it in, and we start playing, and then we kick it in. And we're really loud on stage. We're too loud always. And so Jimmy can't really hear too well at first. He's adjusting. And so I look at him, and he's up there trying to find where the one is. And so he's looking back to my foot just to see my hi-hat foot. That's how he's going to, okay, it's what you do. You lock in with the drummer if you can't hear anybody else. And I'm watching him, and I'm like, he's looking at my foot, and I remember having the thought of, what if my foot falls off? What if he turns me into a newt? I'm thinking like, it's Jimmy Page, he's a black sorcerer, But I'm like, we played what, I don't remember if it was 2 or 3 songs or one, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But we did it, and we all finished, and then we go off the stage after, and we're just all euphoric, and he's all fired up. And then we hang out at the gig for an hour, and he's just going through he's looking at the stereo, and there's a million CDs in all the drawers, and he's like pulling them out, and, oh, I haven't heard this one in years. Can we play this now? Like, he just wants to listen to blues records. And it's like, yes, Jimmy Page, we can play that now. Like, we're like, and then we all end up going to this place called Les Bandouches, this big nightclub, and there's like models and celebrities there, but that's where we ended up, and it was like, this is amazing. Like, we're just all out with Jimmy Page in Paris. This is fucking crazy. And so that was that. And then that summer we did a few gigs with Page Plant in Europe in '95. And then, so we had established we knew him. And then in '97, that was it. He couldn't come see us at the Albert Hall. Like Ross had told him, Black Crowes are in town. Do you want to come? We thought he'd sit in with us at the Albert Hall again in '97. And he said he couldn't, but if we have a night off, but his schedule allowed, well, that's what it was. Like, oh, we got a night off, a couple days before, and so that we just met him for drinks.
Yeah.
And so, he clearly took a shine to us. He really liked our band. And we got on with him very well. So, it wasn't like a total shock in '99 when he said, do you want to do something together?
Right.
And Page Plant played in Atlanta a couple times, and like we would go, we'd just go down and be at the gig all day. Like when we would see them on tour, we were part of the family. It was just, hey,
Yeah.
So that was always cool.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's always been like that with Robert to this day. If Robert walked in here right now, he'd be like, hey, they're just the best. And that's just how those guys operate.
Do you want to take a break?
Sure.
Or if you want to keep going, we can keep going.
Well, let's see. We can talk about